Good afternoon and welcome to the FHL live stream at 4 p.m. Today. It's usually not my time, but we're live today. My name is James Fauntleroy, or you're watching the JB Show, and I have my guest today, Mike. He's also known as Policy Above All on Twitter, though he hasn't been on Twitter that much lately because of all the what can you call it? You can call it exhaustion from all the bullshit. Um,
Yeah, burned out. That's basically it.
yeah, burnout. So, I mean that's fair. So yeah, this is Mike Miressi. He has a website called the Gilman House, and it is full of different articles. Um, and of course, you did political spotlights during the 2020 campaign. That's over.
Yep.
Some people have fell off and went the completely a different direction. Some people are still on it, kind of wishy-washy. Some people just didn't get elected. So yeah, but
Yeah.
one of the things that I wanted to do was say hello to everybody in the chat. I first want to give a shout out to our super sticker. Tepid, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Notori Lee, Lawrence Johnson, Holly Horn, so good to see you. Welcome. Grab a snack. Austin Jones, hey, how's it going? Let me see. David Troppins, nice to have you. Lawrence Johnson. Let me see. Let me see. So let's start off. Let me see. I had to sign up $5 patron to get the full Brie rant. Cool. Quaker Socialist. Malik Carey. Let me see. Draft Tulsi, what's up? You watching from the Twitter side? Ernest El Pena. All right. Nice to have you all. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do is Chris Bedford, thank you so much. My stepdaughter is from East Louis. I hyped up Cori Bush to him. I donated to her, so now disappointed. We're gonna get into that. So
Really disappointed about some people.
oh, you have no idea. You're gonna have some
I
fun
really
today.
don't. I really don't have any idea. So
Yes,
this is gonna be very entertaining.
This guy has been so off of social media that everything that you guys know about, he doesn't even know yet. And so we're actually going to get
True.
his actual initial reaction, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start off with. This first. I'm going to share my screen, share audio. And we're going to go to Mama Bear.
Oh God. Why did you have to do this to me right off the bat?
I'm so sorry, but you know what? I mean, we've been friends for a while, and I just want to, I just want to get your reaction to what she says, and I just want to get it live, and I hope that you will be able to see. So let
This
me
is the
do it.
same. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
I'm already
That
angry.
would be an attitude that people would have. But even take it on top of that, suppose your family was not, your child just decided they want to, at this time, not want to go to college, but you're paying taxes to forgive somebody else's uh, uh, obligations. You may not be happy about that. But you know what? We want all of our kids to reach their fulfillment. To the extent that they want to go to college, we do not want them to be prohibited from able to be accepted in the Ivy League here and there, but their family's economic situation does not enable that to happen because they have to stay close to home to work, to be part. of the family situation. So what we'd like to do is have an economy that is fair, that gives opportunity, and does not hold anybody back because of financial reasons. And again, how some people may view the relieving people of this obligation has to be viewed in a fair way, where we have something that gives opportunity. That's the big word, opportunity, to all of America's families. Yeah.
We really want everybody to have access to college,
Yeah.
but you know, once you're in there, you know, fuck you.
Basically.
It's the same old argument every time, every single time, with everything, with the neolibs. Every single time is the same argument. With healthcare, with college, access, opportunity. We throw on all the fancy buzzwords, and it boils down to, we're not going to do anything. Have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, Jeremy Sheldon says, "Who is this Republican?"
Yo, I did see that. That was a very good comment.
Yeah. She even catches herself realizing what she's saying is to be really awful. Mama Karen.
Yeah. Karen Prime.
Yeah. And you see, so she prides herself on being a progressive.
Yeah, that's what she calls herself.
Does she actually sound that progressive to you?
She sounds like a Republican, but they all sound like Republicans.
Yeah.
Yes, well, Bluebird, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at it, look at what she's saying, it's like, yo, it's like, well, my dad got polio, and so because he got polio, it's not fair for you guys to get the vaccine because he had to suffer, so you should have to suffer too. It's not fair to him.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. A lot of this stuff boils down to that. Medicare for all, you know, forgiving student debt, making colleges free. You know, there's a very huge nugget of, well, I had to go through this, so you have to go through it too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what this country was supposed to have been about. I mean, we're supposed to be making things better for the future generations, not inflicting the same shit that we went through upon them because, well, you know, that's just how it is. You know, we did it, you do it too.
Yeah. And so, you know, I look at somebody like her and her constant refusal to actually look at the plight of actual people, and she's basically just saying, "Let them eat ice cream." You know.
I mean, yeah, she's made her stance very clear back when she showed off her freezers.
Yeah. $12,000 refrigerators, 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't even know refrigerators got that expensive.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna go to another one.
That's actually a really good point. David Truppin's in the chat that responding to what I said earlier, that the college he's right, it didn't cost as much as it does now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
he's absolutely right.
Yeah, it was a lot cheaper. In fact, we actually had free college back then too. A lot of people don't know.
I said all the time, like back then you could pay your way through college with a part-time summer job at McDonald's. Try doing that now.
Yeah. You basically need 2-3 full-time jobs just to get through. Just to get through it.
Life.
I mean, just to get through college, just to pay it off. And even then, you'll still never be able to pay it off. You know, a lot of people don't know this, that I actually did not. I refused to go to college simply for the fact that I did not want to go into debt because I knew how much in debt people in college were. And this was back in 2002. So almost 20 years ago. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to college. And so I went to a magnet high school and I learned a trade there so that I wouldn't have to have any debt. And I still got sick. And so, it sucks. So
You get screwed no matter what you do, really. Sometimes it really seems that way. Yeah. I was from a position of privilege. I was able to go to an undergrad for next to nothing, and grad school. I was able to afford that. So I did go to college and graduate school and graduated with no debt, but that was a result of my privileged upbringing. Not everybody has that, and I'm the first to say we should have free college for everybody, or trade schools as well. Trade schools would fall under that. We recorded that video a while back discussing education.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to let everybody know, this is actually Mike's second time on my show. He was actually one of my first guests to be on my show when we talked about college education. So if you guys want to go ahead after this stream and go ahead and give that a look, you guys can go ahead. But I also want to go to what's up?
So I just wanted to answer Danny in the chat. I majored in psychology.
Oh, okay. So
hi, Rob.
Yeah. So I want to go to the next thing I would like for you to react to, and we can take a look at that.
By all means. Please tell me it's a palate cleanser from having to see Nancy Pelosi's face.
Sorry. So
I come on your stream and you assault me with these not safe for work images. Like I don't understand. Couldn't you have just thrown up a dick pic? Like that would have been way better.
I'm so sorry. I subjected you to Mama Bear, and I dearly apologize. But I'm gonna let you see something else. This one is just going to be an article. Okay, so Joshua Potash actually tweeted, he said, "This is nuts. India Walton, a socialist, is likely to win the race for the next mayor of Buffalo. So the council is trying to eliminate the role of mayor."
Hey, credit where credit's due. I don't think anybody's thought of that before.
Right?
That is a really fresh take on how do we stop these damn socialists from infiltrating our government?
Yeah,
just eliminate the position.
Yeah. It's like Adolf Hitler would have been like, "Wow, that is a really great idea. Take the power away from the people just by eliminating that seat. Take it away."
We're so paranoid about having leftists in government that we're just going to straight up eliminate the position of government that they're likely to win.
Yeah, this is the governmental equivalent of taking my ball and going home.
It really is. I'm okay. I'm not huge on laws in different states and municipalities and everything, but I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't just eliminate the position of mayor.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, who the hell are you to sit there and try to take the people's choice away, and now you're sitting there trying to just be like, no, you guys voted wrong. Even though that's their choice.
I feel like this should be an Onion article.
It should be an Onion article.
Yeah, like 30 years ago, this would be an Onion article, but nowadays this is just our daily life.
Yeah, and so I'm glad I was able to take you from looking at the face of Mama Bear and feeling absolute dread to making you laugh with something that's absolutely dreadful.
This is very funny. But the conspiracy theorist in me is like, oh boy, this is the test case for them eventually just taking away our ability to vote at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is the
I mean,
first step.
technically we don't have it. I mean, if you really want to look at it, we don't really, because I mean, look at what the Democrats said in court. I mean, we can just pick whoever we want in a back room, a smoke-filled back room. They just said that.
They've been getting bold lately with just taking the mask off entirely. Like, it used to be that this sort of shit, taking away people's votes and all these backroom dealings, that was a huge scandal. But nowadays it's like, that's just how it is.
Stella Lewis,
they're taking the mask off because nobody cares.
No, they don't. Stella Lewis, sad to see a younger generation recreating the same left pessimism I saw in my youth. People who, instead of mounting a serious set of demands to local politics, sit in basements complaining. You know what? I'm not in my basement. I'm actually in my bedroom because I can't live on my own right now because I don't make enough money. And so I'm not privileged in that way. And I was actually at the Medicare for All marching for Medicare for All and making demands in front of Senator Marco Rubio's house. I mean, sorry, not his house, but his office, and in front of Rick Scott's office. And I also am trying to point people in the direction of mutual aid so we can do a general strike. So yeah, we can actually mix our pessimism for government and intersect that with direct action to actually get things done. So I'm sorry, Miss Sella, but that sounds a little condescending to me, and maybe you don't mean it that way. But the thing is that yeah, I'm actually trying to bring this message to people, especially my generation, Generation Z, and potentially Generation Alpha, so that they are able to do and go farther than we do. So yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm also on the third floor of my house, so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So Quaker Socialist says, while it takes blood, sweat, and tears to get the policy or a fighter into power, it is imperative to fight like the devil to protect the policy or people's fighter. I completely agree. Quaker Socialist, she's actually a real one. Where is it? Wow, you guys are really commenting.
We also need to hold the people we get in there accountable. I mean, look what happened with AOC.
Yeah.
Look what happened with every quote unquote leftist that get voted in. They may start as getting grassroots support, and that may be enough to get them into the House or the Senate or what have you. But it's one versus a huge machine that's been churning away for decades. So don't be terribly shocked when those people just cave in and start becoming neolibs.
Yeah. They should run a populist idea and let the socialist term go. It brings memories back of World War II and Hitler's party, in which all reality was fascist. Benito Mussolini is what originally inspired Hitler and America's treatment of the indigenous. I'm going to have to push back on that a little bit. Socialism is actually looking better and better to our generation. I am a millennial, and to Gen Zs are actually not as scared as our older generations are. So they do not have memories of World War II or Hitler's party. But we are seeing fascism rise again, especially with the neoliberals. We're looking at red fascists and blue fascists, and we still right now have a blue fascist in the White House. So they don't care about that. And if we go issue for issue when it comes to these policies, then most people will actually realize that they are further to the left. So we can still keep the moniker socialist because everybody else can say they're a populist and not mean shit behind it. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. She took the title of, she says she's a progressive. So what does that mean anymore? So she wouldn't dare touch socialist though. And so we can still claim that. So yeah, I'm going to have to push back on that a little bit.
Let's not forget that Donald Trump also ran as a populist.
Yeah, he ran as a populist as well.
It's easy to just chalk up his original election win to racism and bigotry, but that's not solely why he won that election back in 2016. And anybody who's still arguing that in 2021, I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
Socialism has tested way better amongst our generation and younger. And yes, it is also very important to include the blue fascists with the red fascists, because we all know that the Republicans are fascists. They've been fascists for decades. It's nothing new. Like, we all know that. It's but the Democrats also being fascists is something that some people need to have drilled into their heads a lot.
George Lachinsky. Democracy's broken, huh? You know it's not broken? The guillotine in my workshop.
I'm with you, George. I'm with you. I used to be more nonviolent back during the 2016 election cycle and the 2020 election cycle, but no. After the Democratic primary, I was just like, you know what? Fuck, just kill him. not really. Please do not take this as an endorsement of actually committing violence, because it's not it.
But we are for self-defense.
Yes, always for self-defense.
Okay. Let me see. Thank you so much for the super chat, Bobby Markham. FYI, YouTube actively shadow bans people in the comments. I can see my comments on videos. No one else can. Every platform is actively censoring people. Yeah, we actually talked about this on Ron Bacone earlier.
And we had a video a while back about self-censorship in the media. Like a long time ago. But yeah, every tech company is doing this now, which is why every time that something comes up in the news, like, oh, somebody posted something horrific on Facebook, like legitimately horrific, like somebody posted something horrific on Facebook, we have to turn to the tech companies to try to like get this stuff off our screens. Like, just let them have carte blanche of like just doing whatever their algorithms will just censor stuff. That's fine. There's no worry that it'll be used for other purposes.
Yeah. Let me see. So yeah. Okay, so I would like to hang on. Savvy! I've had people saying the same things. Their comments are gone. Yeah, and that's something that we need to get rid of. That, we need to nationalize this shit. I don't care, whatever. Okay, so let's go down the line. Hang on, let's get rid of that, so I won't have that. I'm going to give attention to friend of the show, Frank Analysis, and this is actually going to be a video. And this is okay. So remember, I sent you the text that the eviction moratorium has ended. Event ended last night, and Cori Bush decided, even though she knew for over a month that this eviction moratorium was going to end, that she was going to sleep out on the streets of the Capitol to protest and try to get Congress to reconvene because they went on their August recess. So I'm going to show what he was out there with them, and I'm going to show exactly what transpired, because this is AOC that was out there last night as well, and so he's going to try to interview her.
Rhonda forgot that. Rhonda waved the flag thinking it's all about the ego. But it's about our to protect. America means protecting the meek and the weak from being exploited, enslaved, victimized, over the top. It's joy to do so.
AOC, is it okay if I get like a question or two? Question two, what's the next steps? What are you guys going to do to pressure your colleagues? How are you going to pressure your colleagues? Why are you guys doing this last minute? Why weren't you guys doing this for months? That's it. So you just show up for a photo op and that's it. You're not actually going to fight in Congress. No, what is she going to do? You want to talk about it here? We can discuss right here very civilly. I'm completely independent.
And that, my friend.
Oh well, if you're independent, then you can't stay here. We only take interviews from people with credentials like MSNBC.
Official. Official.
We
press pass. Yeah. So your reactions to that?
My reaction is just the same reaction I've had to AOC for months now, which is just general disgusted noises. I mean, like I said earlier, AOC, all the people make this is a classic neolib grandstand, to use the same word that he did in the video, in the text of the video there. You make a big gesture that pretends that you're doing something, like, oh, we're gonna sleep on the steps of the Capitol for one night to show everyone what it's like to be homeless. And then you just go away and really never talk about that again. You just kind of let the news cycle just bring in the next issue to pretend to care about. It's a classic neoliberal tactic, and it's very, well, I'd say it's disheartening if you still believed in her. I don't, so really all I feel is just more disgust. But if there are people out there who are still holding out hope for AOC, I would be very disappointed to see her do the same shit that everybody else does. Because she was supposed to be different.
Supposed to be. I mean, this was the same.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
It boils down to the fact that you can't change things from inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I also live in the real world, Sela, and you know what? I live in the hood right now, and this is one of the reasons why I have this show, and I'm actually talking about it. So yeah.
I prefer to live in virtual worlds because they make more sense. But unfortunately, most of the time we all live in the real world. It's kind of unavoidable.
Yeah. And so it's just like, come on now.
Yes, Marco. Exactly.
Yeah. You see, independent media would ask all the wrong questions, not the pre-approved ones they train for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You think all these politicians and people aren't briefed and given how to answer these pre-approved questions all the time? Like, these answers aren't off the cuff.
Yeah. And here's my thing. Okay. So I'm gonna be real right now for a second. Some people are coming into comments because they're mad because we're actually talking and critiquing their favorite politician, even though they knew for an entire month that they knew that this was going to end. They knew that this was going to end. If this was the case, then why were they out sleeping on the streets in the Capitol a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Absolutely not. They did not go out there, and they waited till the 11th hour. They watched the train leave the station, and then while they're watching the train leave the station, they decided to run. Oh my goodness, the train is leaving the station. And by the time the train leaves the station, they're like, oh. See? They didn't even wait for us while they stood there in the train terminal, and they could have actually caught the train on time, but they decided not to. So guess what? This is one of the reasons why I said how Bush is losing the left is because she is literally losing the left. I am tired of people coming in and saying, oh, well, this person is actually fighting for us. If they fought for us, then they should be fighting for us. But they're not. They're not. If they did, then it would have happened. So guess what? Yes, I am pissed off because 6 million households are about to be evicted. Not 6 million people, 6 million households. And you guys are
really
pissed
want to
off because
emphasize
I'm
that.
critiquing your favorite politician. Sit down. Sit down.
I was talking.
Sorry.
No, you have a right to flip out. You're absolutely right. I was just talking to my wife
Spit all
last
over my
night,
camera.
and I was talking to my wife last night about that very thing you mentioned. The emphasis on it's 6 million households. It's not 6 million people. It's households.
People.
I know it could be. You could have 5 people, 4 people. There's about to be a huge spike in homelessness, and nobody's going to care. Is the bottom line.
We had 500,000 already before the pandemic, and now we're going to have all this now? And you mean to tell me that just because I critique your favorite politician, and you're saying, oh, well, she's out there now. Where was she? Where were they? And the thing is that we know Nancy Pelosi doesn't support this. This is why we elected them to go against her. So that they can actually say, you know what, Nancy Pelosi? No, we're actually going to throw you under the bus because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. This is what we elected them for, and they're not doing it. This is why.
This is
duh.
And
duh. Sorry, I'm turning into an Italian right now. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll allow it. I'm Italian, so I hereby give you an Italian pass. But yeah, no. This AOC proves once and for all that you. All right, I know a lot of people on the left aren't fans of the musical Hamilton, and I understand why. But there's a line from that musical. In space, it's just like you can't put a fire if there's a fire trying to douse, you can't put it out from inside the house, and that's very true. We've seen it time and time again. And AOC, frankly, for me, was the final nail in the coffin. Like you can't change the system from inside of the system. The only time that systems have changed is from outside interference. The only time. The only time.
Yes, and the only thing is you have to make them uncomfortable. People need to get this through their heads. The civility politics shit went out the window. It went out the window last night when all those people are now subject to being evicted. No more civility politics. Now we got to get our independent left media in front of their faces with cameras and microphones and saying, where were you? Where were you?
There was a time.
That's what has to happen.
There was a time when AOC would have welcomed independent media covering her.
Yeah. Thanks to Savvy Sab. Oh, no anymore. Thanks to Savvy Sab. She said, everyone went home. There is no one to hear them. They're a day late and $1 short. And this is what I've been talking about. They're a day late and $1 short. And the thing is that they knew. They knew the CDC put out an eviction moratorium over a month ago. And they knew about it. And they were just like, well, and this passive like, oh, you gotta lift the moratorium. Okay, can you guys do some more extreme measures? Call people out by name.
James, you're not being fair. Just think of the poor landlords, man. They've been suffering this whole time. Like, think of the poor landlords.
Think of the poor yeah, you're right. Think of the poor landlords who,
Come on.
Yeah,
they gotta afford their car payments.
They could have learned the code, but instead they had to, just keep, super high rent on people. Think of the landlords.
They gotta afford that second yacht somehow, man. Like, come on. What are they gonna do? Have one yacht? Come on. That's practically not even living.
Yeah, not really. No, not.
In case anyone in fact can pick up on it, I'm being very sarcastic.
Yeah. And a lot of times the thing is that we advocate for direct action, and then you got a lot of people going, well, you guys shouldn't be doing that. Well, what is your answer to us not supporting direct action? The suffragettes did direct action, and what happened to them? Now women can vote. Okay. We did direct action, in the civil rights era. And guess what? Now I'm not a second-class citizen. Marsha P. Johnson threw a brick. Marsha P. Johnson threw a brick. And she was able to cause the Stonewall riots. And guess what? Now I can marry whoever the fuck I want. So, yeah, Direct action works, and that's what needs to happen. And people who are comfortable need to be made to be uncomfortable so that we can actually get change. And this is what we're advocating for, because we're sick and tired of all the civility bullshit.
Tone policing is a favorite of the establishment because it lets them effectively redirect the conversation. I mean, we all know this. It lets them effectively redirect the conversation from the issue to how you're talking about the issue. And then all the news networks will play 24/7. It's like, oh, this person was really mean to this person, so therefore we shouldn't really listen to them. We all need to like talk like professional people and not use those mean words or anything. And then the point, which the issue of homelessness, Medicare for all, whatever. The actual topic of conversation gets forgotten about in all the press about, oh, he was mean to this other person. We saw it a lot during Trump's presidency because the media loved Trump's presidency because all they had to do was bitch about how he tweeted all the time, and they didn't actually have to focus on anything that was going on.
Yeah, definitely. I love what David Williams
So
said.
tone policing, I'm not a fan of tone policing.
Yeah, of course. David Williams said, if we don't play nice with the establishment, then we won't get all the policies we aren't getting now playing nice.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
We do stand to lose all those policies that we have no chance of getting right now.
Oh, we're going to lose the $15 minimum wage. Oh, we're going to lose the public option. Oh, we're going to lose the ban on fracking.
Careful, guys. Nancy Pelosi, sorry, not Nancy Pelosi. Biden might veto Medicare for all if we don't play nice. Oh wait, he was doing that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, right now, Occupy Wall Street is about to become Occupy a House. Actually, right now, guess what's trending on Twitter? Is Occupy Congress is actually trending on Twitter. It's pretty cool, right?
Yo, that would be cool. Yeah. I think everybody who gets displaced and forced out of their homes because they should go live in Nancy Pelosi's house.
Yeah.
Like however many of them she has, they should just all move in there.
Yeah.
They can have a big ice cream party.
Yeah. Hold on. I missed the super chat, I think. Oh shit, the combo couch. It said, I second the motion of giving Jay an Italian pass. This needs to be said with anger. People are going to get thrown out into the streets. Pasta. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. Pasta. Man, I love pasta, by the way. Y'all got so many things right. Pasta was one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I want. Yeah, I told you this is gonna be fun because the people, largely, the people in the comments are just like wonderful.
Yeah, I've never done a live stream before, so this is fun.
Yeah. Thomas said, anyone concerned with the feelings of politicians are not to be taken seriously. Like Nick said, you're being unserious because they know what they signed up for, and they actually are employees. And the thing is that the fact that we're getting pissed off because our employees are becoming insubordinate and openly defiant means that they should either be fired or we should have a review with them, and we need to talk to them and set them straight. Because guess what? If they're not doing what we set them out there to do, then they do not deserve to be there. Why in the hell do we put them there just to tacitly support something? To support something doesn't mean you're actually going to fight for it. If you're not fighting for it, then why the hell are you there? Why the hell did we put you in there?
That's a very good point.
Anyone? Okay, so I want to move on. So now we're going to go to Max Blumenthal, the moment that everyone has been waiting for, and this is going to be his interview with Cori Bush, where she gives her answer. Yeah, I have no words. I'm just going to show this to you and to the audience, and
Okay.
yeah, I'll get your immediate reaction afterwards.
It's my
Yeah.
office, but
Yeah.
other offices.
And have you gotten any help from Pelosi? Has she got any confidence in her ability to ram this through?
Yeah, it's not even, the thing is right now,
It's not about the speaker. It's not about Pelosi.
right now we got 2.5, 3 hours. We need the president because we can't get Congress members right back here fast enough now in 2.5, 3 hours.
And what would you say about the president?
We need the president right now with the CDC to go ahead and the president has done an executive order to get the extension done before. We need that to happen.
Why not? Why hasn't he done it? Why is he forcing this whole thing?
I don't know, but I know right now
because he's status quo Joe.
I don't know. Well, one thing we have to remember is that the Supreme Court said that it's not on the White House to get this done, that it is on Congress. And so when we got that information that we needed to get this done, we had 2 days.
Yeah.
Now, before that, I can't speak to, I wasn't in those leadership conversations to know what happened before that. All I know is that when we sent the letter last week saying, hey, President, CDC, can you all get this extension done? And then we got the word a few days later that Congress needed to take up a vote.
Okay. So that was one of them. That was one of the responses. There was another response that she had.
I really like the name status quo Joe. I wish we had thought of that back during the election.
Yeah.
Not that it would have made any difference really, but it would have been fun to get that out there sooner.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So let me share my screen. And we are going to go here.
That's where we are.
And I heard last night there was a lot less people. It's great to see so many more people, but I heard there was an intense debate about the role of the squad and why the squad didn't leverage its vote for the speaker for Medicare for all vote, and why the squad, with the margin so narrow in Congress, why the squad didn't
because
leverage its vote on the stimulus to get a $15 minimum wage.
No. So first, one thing that was said last night, which is something that's very true, and I wish we would have talked about that this was where your conversation was going, because we're talking about the rally for tonight. And I really would love to keep the conversation on what's happening.
I feel like it's all related to healthcare and
it absolutely is. But this is the thing. What was said last night is that this bill, Medicare for All, is not, there's no person on the squad whose bill that is. That is Bernie Sanders' bill in the Senate. It is Pamela Jayapal's bill in the House. It is not our bill. We cannot make that bill come to the floor. There is nothing that we can do legally to get the bill to the floor. We have
But Pelosi could have brought the bill to the floor.
We're good here. Thank you.
What? Well,
I'm sorry, man. We're fine at this.
Why can't she answer the question?
We're here to talk about the eviction.
But I feel like it's all about healthcare.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Really appreciate your
We're
time.
here for a reason. It's about the moratorium.
Well, why is that? I can't ask about Medicare for all.
The Congresswoman has slept 1 hour. She's done a lot of labor.
I'm trying to get people out here too.
I respect your work.
I'm trying to do the same thing you all are doing.
Thank you for being here.
But why can't she could just answer it and then I go away? I'm not trying to attack her or anything. I'm not trying to smear her.
We're happy to give you a contact and you can reach out.
But why is that issue, the Medicare for all vote, so she was wrapping up
I'm not
her,
having this conversation.
but she was wrapping up her, I know she was wrapping up her answer. Then I was going to say thank you, everybody come out.
I appreciate
But why
that.
didn't you let her just wrap up her answer?
I really appreciate you. We're happy to give you a contact. You can feel free to reach out. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks. Okay, they wouldn't even let her finish her answer. I thought it was a perfectly fine explanation, and I was just going to be like, okay, thank you for answering.
That interruption took way longer than if you had just let her finish her answer in the first place.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris Belfer, for the
that interruption was I can't. What neoliberal bullshit is this? Oh, it's not our bill. We can't really do anything. So, are you in Congress or not?
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing
I
is,
mean,
it was asked there. Like my thing is like, okay, so yeah, okay, she's probably right about, it's not our bill. We can't bring it to the floor. But what was forced to vote about? To force Nancy Pelosi to bring it to a floor. If not, we'll take the speakership away from her.
yeah. Oh, well, we can't have that. That would be consequences for our actions.
And it's like,
Uh,
you know, I just I saw that and I was just like, you know what? I got to get Chris on this one. I'm sorry, I got to get Mike on this. Sorry, I was reading the chat, but I definitely had to get you on this one.
Yeah, no, that's some bullshit. I love how mid-interview she's like looking around, like, "Where's my security? Why is this independent journalist allowed to talk to me?" Yeah, this is exactly the kind of politician and grandstanding we need less of, not more of. Like you said earlier, they knew this was happening for this. They knew this was going to happen. Why weren't they out there beforehand? Why are they just content to let? I can't even ask the question because I know the answer, and the answer is because they're paid for it. They're paid well. They're paid by all the companies. Like, for example, for Medicare for All, they're paid off by all the insurance companies just to keep their cash flowing. So that's why they do the things they do.
Yeah. And the thing is,
and no amount of screaming or protesting is going to change the fact that they're getting six-figure checks from Aetna. So,
yeah.
like,
And the thing is, and here's my thing. It's like, okay, so you don't get money from Big Pharma or any of these other companies, but you're taking the cues from people who do.
Yeah.
So what makes you different, right? It's like you're sitting there going, oh, but we can't do this, and it's like, yeah, you can. And the thing is, the people will back you up every single time, but you're not doing it. And the thing is that everybody has talked about, oh, we just got to trust the process. Oh, we just got to work behind the scenes. How well is that working out for you?
Well, I mean, for them personally, it's working out pretty good. For the 99% of the country, it's not. But that's been the story since the dawn of politics. Watching that reminds me of how I felt when Stacey Abrams heel turned. Because I donated to Stacey Abrams back in the day before she went all neoliberal on us. And I was just like, I can't even be disappointed anymore. Like that's how cynical and burned out I am. Whenever shit like this happens, I have a disgusted reaction, but mostly it's just like, it's what you expect.
Yeah. Robin During, thank you so much. Much love to JB and Mike. Thank you for this awesome show.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you. I'm expending a lot of emotional energy right now because I'm exhausted because I'm seeing all this happen. Says
I do want to.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out with the eviction moratorium coming to an end federally. I want to point out that at least the one good part about our screwed up system of governance is that while the federal moratorium has ended because status quo Joe didn't feel it was important enough to re-up it, the states at least are still free to extend it if they want to. I know that New York and New Jersey have extended it beyond today. I'm sure other states have as well. Of course, the obvious complaint with that as well. All the red states, of course, aren't going to do that. So you still got people facing eviction and homelessness, which is absolutely 100% true. But I would like to point out that at least there is somewhat of, I won't call it a silver lining, more like an off gray lining.
Slightly gray lining. Yeah.
it's like a gray lining, but there are at least states that they realize that an eviction moratorium is still needed, and they're extending it. So I will point that out.
Yeah. And let's hope that the state ones will kick in so that people won't get they won't get kicked out of their homes because of that.
Yeah. And yes, Chet's mom, exactly. That's a good point. We should just make homelessness illegal, and then the problem will go away.
Apparently, you know how you can make homelessness illegal? Just give all the homeless people homes.
No.
Oh, wow.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
Silly me. Yeah.
Let's ignore that Finland did that and is having the time of their life.
Yeah. Or look at phenomenal mysticism. I heard Norwegians are constantly critical of their country and politicians, much more than Americans. How did Norway turn out? It turned out being a country that cares about its people more than the United States.
Oh, 100%. And there are tons of countries like that. Most of, like, all of Scandinavia, New Zealand, there's example after example after example of the policies and systems that we're trying to put in place that we're constantly told are impossible, but they're working just fine in other countries.
Yeah.
So don't give me that talk that we can't do it because it won't work or it's not tested.
Yeah.
It's been tested. It works. The reason you're not doing it is because you're paid not to do it.
Yeah. And yeah, Jeremy, I actually saw that, but I'm not going to give it any attention because I'm not going to entertain that with a response because, I actually want to say that Mark Pocan, Ro Khanna, Bernie Sanders, they all knew about this for a month too. But the thing is that they haven't gotten, well, Bernie Sanders actually did get an interview with Crystal Ball, and I should have primed that up.
It got eviscerated.
Yeah, he got eviscerated.
Rightly so.
And so, to them, I say the exact same thing. So I know I didn't really want to be this cynical, and one of the things that I want to talk about is that we could do, housing for all. It's not impossible. It's just it's like, what do you think it takes?
Do you know how many vacant homes there are in this country that are just like they're being kept vacant for some are rich people's like third or fourth homes, others are just dilapidated structures that sure are not fit for habitation, but they could be they could build new houses easily on that land, but they're being held for tax purposes for whatever reason. I don't understand like that sort of tax loophole law, but our friend Chris does, and he's told me a lot about the amount of vacant houses that could easily house the homeless and just are not.
Yeah. DVJ said even Pelosi ran on single payer. We need policy on how to hold politicians accountable. And yeah, it's true.
I have a policy to hold politicians accountable, but I cannot say it on stream.
Rome would love you. Boy, would he love you. Yeah. Let's go to the chat here. It says they're afraid of being a one-term member of Congress, the thing that they claimed they were not afraid of during their campaigns. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the heel turn. It's the heel turn.
Yeah, it's the heel turn.
I'm not afraid of this.
Yeah, and I was one of the ones who said, and I said this at the Medicare for All March, I said a politician should not be afraid to serve only one term just to get things done. And because here's the thing, if you're actually fighting, then guess what? The people are going to see that and they're going to keep you in there. Look, I don't care if you fail as long as you fight. If you fail, then okay. Because guess what? We're going to send you back in there to fight some more. That's the way it works. And we failed at other things and we've gotten them. But the thing is, people seem to forget that we actually did the work of doing it. And now they're just like, well, you guys can't do that because they'll fail. So what? Fail, then fail better.
Try.
Fail again and fail better again. Try again. The thing is that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. They're
True.
not taking the shots. They're hesitating. Why are they hesitating? Because they want to work behind the
You know
scenes.
what? You know what, Celia? You're right. Pelosi is very popular in her district. That's true. You know what else is popular across the country? Medicare for all. We still don't have that. So popularity really doesn't mean anything.
I mean, look, I said this during the Medicare for all march. I keep bringing that back to that. But 70% of the country wants Medicare for all, but yet Joe Biden doesn't want to approve it. He even said on Lawrence O'Donnell that even if it came to it, it had passed the House and the Senate, and it came to his desk, he would veto it. What does that sound like to you?
That sounds like he's getting those fat, big pharma checks.
That sounds like a dictatorship. When the whole country wants something, and you're not willing to do it, and then he's not getting called out by people by name. In fact, Cori Bush was just given an opportunity to call him out by name, and it didn't happen. Come on.
We're a pilgrim. You're right. We are the audience in a magic show. Well, not necessarily a magic show. We're watching a theater performance. That's why I roll my eyes every time I see a headline where it's like, oh, this politician fired shots at this politician over this. And I'm like, okay, and do we have Medicare for all yet? No? Okay, well then.
Yeah. Thank you to Quaker Socialist. Fund your local mutual aid. Find nearest by zip or city name at mutualaidhub.org. Thank you very much for that, because people need mutual aid. Chet's mom 4. Didn't LA make homelessness illegal? Yes, it was actually done by Jeffrey Katzenberg, who donated $20 million to TYT. If that became a federal law, problem solved.
That's the comment I was referencing earlier with might make homelessness illegal, and it'll go, and the problem will go away.
Speaker Mel, thanks for the super chat. The question to put to the people the squad represent is, do you think they've earned the pensions they're going to vest in if you reelect them? Because guess what?
That's a good question.
Pensions. They get pensions after 5 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they
that's
get
a
paid
good
very
question to ask. Yeah, they get paid handsomely.
That's why the average congressman's salary is like something like reasonable. But all like look up incomes. It's all public information. All these people are worth millions of dollars. Pelosi is worth a ridiculous amount of money. It's not coming from her salary.
Yeah. And also, whatchamacallit, her husband, Paul Pelosi, I think his name is Paul Pelosi. He has investments in real estate firms which are buying up homes across the country from people being foreclosed on and evicted from, and then they're, instead of reselling those homes, they're actually renting them out. They're not going to sell them ever again, so they can keep that cash flow going. And so now the rate of home ownership is going to tank because companies like BlackRock are buying up all the homes right now. So I guess to Biden, it's build BlackRock better, I guess.
Well, that has black in it. That's like helping. That's like helping minorities, right? Black is in the name.
Yeah, allegedly, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot that happened.
I'm sorry, I reminded you. Yeah, no, you've been away for a long time. It's time to bring you back into the depressing cesspool that is known as Twitter. Yeah,
I've been away for a long time, but it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Like you never really forget, and the sad fact is that nothing ever really changes, or it seems not to. So it's really easy to get back up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Democrats still worthless? Oh, cool.
Lovable FHL. No, we did not cancel Rome. Rome is taking a break on social media right now, and he's just chilling. He will be back, and he's actually doing some stuff on TikTok right now, so you can check him out there. But yeah, no, we did not cancel him, not at all. That's our brother, and we absolutely love him. So, yeah.
I wanna bring
Mm-hmm.
I wanna
You
bring
want to what?
Sailor Lewis back to the I want to bring Sailor Lewis back to the forefront here with this recent comment of, if Cori Bush did something right, would you celebrate it? Yes, because we're not partisan hacks.
Yes.
Yes, we would celebrate it.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm waiting on that because once she does, then I will give her flowers because I want it to happen. Thing is that even if she
We
fought and
don't we
failed, I
don't
would still
care.
give her. Even if she fought and failed, I would still give her flowers.
We don't care who you are or what party you represent. If you do something right, we will celebrate it because we are not partisan hacks. I said the same thing during Trump's presidency. If Donald Trump had passed Medicare for, I don't care if he called it Trump Care, all right? I don't care if he had his own personal logo on every hospital. If he passed Medicare for all as it was written on Bernie's bill without any bullshit changes, I would have been like, yes, Donald Trump, you did something good, because I'm not a partisan hack.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, even um, Donald Trump, he even kind of floated the idea of giving everybody Medicare. And we
He
were like,
did for
yes,
a
yes,
little bit.
yes, Donnie, do it, do it. I don't care if you call it Trump care. I don't care. If you give a single payer health care, I will actually give him flowers. I don't care. I just want the policy. I don't care. Just like,
Honestly, I feel he was.
Go ahead.
I feel he was. I feel like he was actively talked out of it by the healthcare
Oh, of course he
mafia.
would.
Because think about it, Trump's main thing when he was in office was to undo everything Obama did, right? So wouldn't that be like the best thing he could do? Would be to pass a better healthcare plan and put his name on it? Like, wouldn't that have been like the top tier of like his petty revenge thing? Like, oh, I brought you healthcare. I'm so good. So that's why I think he would have done it, and he probably had to have been actively talked out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. So yeah.
He did do that,
Yeah, he did. And the thing
and
is that
we are fascist.
yes, yeah, it's already here. What was the quote
Yeah.
that said fascism would come to the shores of America, holding a flag and carrying the cross, something like that.
I think it was with the flag and a Bible or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
know the quote you're talking about. It was something like that. That's how fascism would take root in America by carrying a flag and a Bible or something like that.
yeah, because it wants to let people think that they are, that they are, the good ones, and we're seeing it happen before our very eyes. Um, so I want to get
Guys,
back
I
to the
want to point
chat.
out
Hmm.
I want to point out that Cedar Lewis is obviously a neolib troll. So like, you guys don't really need to interact with her that much. Like I see you putting up a valiant effort, but it's gonna
Yeah,
come to nothing. Honestly, it's way better just to ignore it.
yeah,
The way
yeah.
they ignore all of our policies.
Basically, I mean, yeah. And let me see. The only thing January 6th accomplished was now we'll have Capitol Police officers across the country, and they're not subject to the Freedom of Information Act. So good times ahead. Yep. They were the ones who, you had people, some of them that voted present instead of actually voting against giving more funding to police. So now, yay, more money to police. And there was a young lady that was basically pinned down by a police officer. She was foaming at the mouth because she couldn't breathe. She kept telling them that she couldn't breathe. Her mother was there trying to tell the police officer to get off her. I forgot her name. I do apologize. But yeah, that was being shared around by Awkward on his Twitter. And it shows that nothing has fundamentally changed. In fact, you actually had a black police officer. And like my friend Sabby Sab says, black police officers are police officers first and they're black second. They do not care. So they put on the same exact thing and suddenly their lives are blue instead of black. So
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of times you look at what's going on in the nation, and you have people who still uphold the white supremacist institutions that keep us all down, even keeps white people down because guess what? You look at the poor white people who have to deal with this shit too. I mean,
Yep.
they're being
Yeah.
arrested in obscene numbers, just like black people are.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
It's like it's division 101. You pick a group.
Yeah.
You see the black people trying to come up, so you pit the poor white people against them. So
Yeah.
you convince the poor white people that the black people who have literally nothing are their enemies and they're taking their jobs, not the rich white people at the top of the pyramid stealing everything.
Yeah.
No, it's the people who have nothing that are trying to mess up your life. So all you poor white people, you should be mad at them, not us.
Yeah. The idea is to house the homeless into jails and prisons and to use them as slave labor. That's basically what it is. I mean, the 13th Amendment doesn't completely get rid of slavery. So,
No, there's that nice little loophole there about prison labor.
yeah. Danny, yes, black rocks matter. Of course. Because all that home ownership needs to go to just a few people at the top so they just rent it out to us instead of actually allowing us to own homes.
I want to point out that all rocks matter. And when you say black rocks matter, it excludes the other rocks that could be your allies. So really, you just want to go about all rocks.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, Danny, that's exactly what it is. That sentence pretty much sums it up. Your little billionaire's comment. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, I am really behind on a lot of these.
Well, the chat's been going like wildfire. So
yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat.
A lot of arguing.
Yeah,
a lot of pushing back against the neolib troll party line.
Yeah, and I've actually been trying to get a little bit faster at this, but I just can't do it. Let me see, Tepid. See, I want to ask BlackRock's investors where they're going to find a whole new crop of solvent wage earning renters to pay their properties. That's a good question. Like, if a lot of us are homeless and we can't pay for it, then how are they gonna make their money back?
Yeah, I don't think they thought that far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 2008 housing crisis all over again.
Yeah. Fusang Tartarian, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. I'll try to do better next time. Black and brown cops try harder to prove their white masters that they are in the gang of cops, the brotherhood of blue first and foremost.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely
definitely.
right.
Yeah.
My favorite line about the whole cops thing is you know how in the cop shows and everything they'll be like when they're trying to get somebody to turn on their like gang friends, or they're like, do the right thing, man. So you gotta just do the right thing. And then fast forward to when a cop is being charged with something and they're doing the same technique, and those people are like, no, my brother's in blue first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's the same thing. You're a gang too, man. Like, we're not fooled.
Yeah. Jeremy Shellman says capitalists never think beyond the next quarter's profits. It's very
true.
Very short-sighted.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So I just think that we need to have more of a collectivist mindset. But who am I? You know, I'm just some crazy socialist on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah. What do we know? But you know, the reason they only think as far as next quarter's profits is because they only have to justify their existence to the board every quarter. So that's why they only think about next quarter.
Yeah, of course. You know, the thing is that every single time we have something that is a pressing issue, you know, it's like, I forgot who said it. I think it may have been Blue Moon Red Wine. I think she said it. That when it comes to making like being for something that the people are for, you only can make sure that you don't have a possibility of making it pass. Then you can support it. But then once you know that if you support it and fight for it, that it'll pass, then you have to reject it and stop, you know, doing that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
See
so
with the Democrats all the time. They'll happily back something that they know has no chance of going anywhere, or they'll back some like meaningless identity politics thing that looks good in a newspaper, but it's not actually going to help anybody. Like they'll do that happily. But anytime it's something that has a lot of support and or has the possibility to change lives in a positive direction, they won't do it. They won't do it. And yes, non-bred, thank you. My Twitter handle was unregistered John Oliver clone, actually. that was my display name.
I was hoping you would tell them that. Derek said corporations are mandated by law to pursue profit for their shareholders. We need to change how we organize our workplace. Yeah,
it's true. And for some reason, not a lot of people seem to understand that, but it is actually a law that they have to do that. So when you ask yourself why a corporation has done this thing in just the name of making money, that's why.
Yeah.
Because they're legally required to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me see. I'm trying to look through because
there's a lot of people now talking about me being John Oliver's clone.
Yeah, I was just like, hold up, wait. Hold on. It's also tough dealing with the timidity of elder Black people. Well, yeah, a lot of times, you know, they are being propagandized by the MSNBCs and CNNs of the world to think that somebody like Joe Biden is electable and Bernie Sanders wasn't. Even though Bernie Sanders is really fumbling right now, he's still, you know, quite measurably better than what Joe Biden was. And, you know, at least we could have gotten some things passed already by executive order by now, but it hasn't happened. So,
correct. Thanks, John. Thank you, Win Pilgrim. Optimism of the will. That racism solved. It's over now.
Yep, we got ourselves a Juneteenth already, people. Yeehaw! Right? You know, and so my thing is like, just because, okay, the performance is over. All right, we're done with performances. We want real stuff to happen, right? I'm trying to control my language, but we want real things to happen. We don't want, you know what I want to say?
Yes.
Because the thing is that, your Juneteenth's a holiday, and guess what? They're gonna give us fried chicken and cornbread on that day while we're locked up in prison. Whoopity freaking do.
Yeah.
So no.
I want to point out that it's like Juneteenth should be a holiday. Nobody's saying that it shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. It's just it's another empty gesture in a long series of empty gestures.
Yeah, I mean, give us Juneteenth and also defund the police, and also decriminalize marijuana and possibly legalize it, and also give us reparations. Cool? Yeah, cool. Give us Medicare for all, give us a Green New Deal, give us housing for all, give us all those things, but also give us Juneteenth as a holiday.
But how are you going to, James? How are you going to pay
Yeah.
for it?
Oh,
How are you going to pay? How are you going to pay for it?
You know how we're going to pay for it? We're going to cut the military budget by 99%. That's how we pay for it. Ha!
My
No,
pearls.
the military budget. I'm melting. Megan Morales. We should occupy Congress and elected houses or their vacation homes since they're on vacation. Also, may just be me, but don't see you live on Rockfin, JB. Yeah, okay. So I didn't have a chance to set that up with this yet. I do apologize. I wanted to do that today, but I didn't get a chance to. It was by the time I had a chance to, it was too late. And so it's going to have to be starting on my next stream next week. I do apologize. I really wanted to upload to Rockfin today, but that was my fault, my bad, and I do apologize. And I will try to get it. I actually will take this stream and then I will upload it to Rockfin if I can later. But I'm having a hard time finding a website to download it on off of because it's just it hasn't been cooperating with me lately. Because I tried to do that with other videos to upload it to Rockfin, and for some reason it's just not doing it. So I'm gonna try to do it today. If I can't, then it's only because the website that I typically use is just not agreeing with me, and it just keeps saying error. So I don't have a different way to do it, and I got to get with the other Fred Hampton leftists to get on that. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I want to, live stream because it automatically will go up to Rockfin. But I appreciate the super chat and thank you so much, Miss Megan. I appreciate it.
Valerie Purcell, you're absolutely right. 10% of the military budget. That would be all it would take to pay for basically everything.
Yeah.
Actually, it would probably take less than 10%.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All these plans that admittedly will cost trillions of dollars, like Medicare for all, Green New Deal, ending homelessness. 10%, 8% of the military budget. And what does that equate to? We have like 3 less planes.
Yeah. I mean,
think about that. 3 less planes.
Yeah.
But they won't do it.
Yeah. Johnny LaRose, thank you for chiming in. Yep, almost $5 trillion wealth heist hidden in the CARES Act. Now they claim austerity. Lie. Absolutely. Yeah. In fact,
austerity for you. Austerity for you.
Yeah.
The people at the top, they're not doing austerity.
Mm-mm.
They're living their lives. They're buying a 3rd yacht. They're buying a 6th house in the south of France or whatever. There's no austerity for the people at the top. There's austerity for you.
Yeah.
Remember that every time somebody says austerity or something like that, it's for you.
Yeah. I get a lot of flack as a performative politics apologist, and I use the Zapatistas as an example of performative politics done right. Thoughts. I gotta Google who Zapatistas are. But the thing is that performative politics doesn't do anybody any good because it actually doesn't give us substantive change. So therefore, fuck performative politics, and it shouldn't be done. I mean, if it is done, then it should be in tandem with actual policy. So if you're going to kneel on kente cloth, it better also be, and also going to vote on defunding the police. But guess what? You're not going to do it. You guys just want to kneel in kente cloth, and that's it, and just leave us to suffer and get shot at. So,
well, that looks good for cameras.
Yeah, and the thing is that I don't care what you look like in kente cloth. I care that my cousin isn't getting shot to death. That's what I care about. I care about the fact that my grandmother, who doesn't have health insurance, actually has health insurance, or my boyfriend doesn't have health insurance. That's what I actually care about. But Too expensive.
Valerie,
How are you gonna pay for it?
Valerie, they spend slightly less than $1 trillion a year. It's $778 billion in 2020.
Yeah. Well, we also have to look at the fact that, so Valerie, the military actually does spend $1 trillion, because when you take the military budget at present and then factor in that the nuclear arsenal that we have is actually listed under the Department of Energy, not the Department of Defense,
Oh, true.
then
True.
it actually equals out to $1 trillion a year, or over $1 trillion a year that we spent on our defense. So to say that our defense is the most expensive in the world is absolutely true. And to cut it by at least 90%, we would still have the most powerful military in the world. And we do not need that. In fact, I think every single one of those over 800 bases that we have around the world absolutely needs to be closed down and shut down. Because the thing is, like, who are we protecting ourselves against? Like, really, who? You know? And the thing is that they're only there for imperialistic, purposes. That's the only reason why we have them there.
Well, no, the reason the United States has so much in defense and military spending is so that they can stand up to, literally, if the rest of the world decided to unite to form like a huge allyship and move against the United States, they'd be able to fight them off. That's the reason our military is so large.
Yeah. Welcome, Johnny LaRose. Thank you for coming in. It's nice to have you. Grab some cookies, grab a bottle of Yoo-Hoo, and sit back and relax, and we'll take care of you.
Yoo-Hoo.
I don't like Yoo-Hoo, but that's the first thing that came to my brain. My brain is melting right now.
I haven't heard or seen a Yoo-Hoo in years.
Oh, my nieces and nephews absolutely love Yoo-Hoo. And
I used to love Yoo-Hoo as a kid.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Chet's mom. I should have had this out, but I don't usually have it out. But I want to address what you are talking about.
What you're pulling out your MMT handbook?
Yep. I'm way ahead of you, Chez mom. I'm way ahead of you. I'm actually being a smart guy. I'm actually reading a book. Are you proud of me?
There you go.
Yeah. It's tough to read books though. I need to do an audio book. I'm terrible. I got a lot to get through. But yeah. So yeah, the whole like MMT, it actually makes a lot of sense, and Dr. Stephanie Clinton actually puts it in a way which I can definitely understand. So,
yeah, much better than when I tried to have you read Manufacturing Consent.
Oh my gosh! Look, okay. Respect to Noam Chomsky, somewhat respect, because he's had some bad takes, but respect to Noam Chomsky. But I wouldn't even pay him to read Manufacturing Consent, because I tried to get through an interview with him.
He's not the most easily accessible, let's say.
Well, it's kind of dry, I mean, he has great information, but
yeah, it's written like a research paper.
Yeah, he's like a research paper,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that, Robin.
Yeah. I'm actually going through. They expanded Trump's stupid Space Force instead of disbanding.
Hey, we gotta go to space
Force. Like, what in the hell are you doing? The only person in space is you, Joe Biden. Because I mean, you're keeping the Space Force, like, for what?
Yeah, why not?
And why is Congress and the Senate talking about this? Like, why do we have a Space Force?
We got to colonize Mars, man. It's the only hope. Since they won't give us the Green New Deal, we got to terraform Mars.
Yeah, we terraform Mars. All the rich people go up there. We're going to build our own Space Force, and we're going to go up there, and we're going to be with them, too. Watch. We're going to be like, hey, what's up? So y'all owe us money. If y'all go to Mars, then we go to Mars. Y'all ain't staying here by y'all. We're not staying here by ourselves. We coming with you.
Theoretically, if all the rich people and the problems went to Mars, like, we could fix Earth. Like, in theory, assuming it wasn't too far gone by that point.
I like the way you think. Okay.
Yeah, you guys go to Mars. You can't come back, but go to Mars.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, hey, if the aliens are DTF, you know, they can invade.
Hey, I've been noticing those green tentacles, and you're looking kind of good from across the room. Is that an asteroid, or are you just happy to see me?
You ever play Mass Effect? They got some sexy aliens in that game.
Oh yeah. Yep. I heard they have some Asgardians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thought on celebrities getting involved in campaigns. Don't do it.
I knew one of us was just going to be like, no.
No.
Look,
No.
celebrities are people. They're citizens. They have as much right to get involved in politics as anybody. But
They do.
the fact of the matter is, because they're celebrities, they have more of that precious access to campaigns and things.
Yes.
And they usually do.
You know, yeah. Precious
And
access.
they usually don't use it in the best way because they're idiots a lot of the time. They live in bubbles, and look at Deborah fucking Messing. Like,
we're not even on Deborah Messing anymore.
We're not.
Now it's John Cusack. Now we're railing against him because John Cusack has said some stupid shit too.
See, that's how long it's been since I've been out of the loop, because I'm still thinking it.
Yeah,
I'm still on Deborah Messing's bullshit.
Yeah, this guy's still on Deborah Messing, and we're already up to John Cusack. It's like, check.
Yeah, and yes, Alyssa Milano as well. Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah. Now, this is one thing that I'm actually going to stop, Matthew. Listen, our Lord and Savior, Susan Sarandon, right? Susan Sarandon. No, she does not have to stay. She doesn't have to stay home. Susan Sarandon can go anywhere she wants. She can walk all over me because she is the queen of the universe. How dare you?
You can't call yourself a leftist if you don't have a shrine to Susan Sarandon in your house.
Yes, with incense smoke going up to the air and her face
always
with the halo around, and she's like this, you know.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
That's the entry point to becoming a leftist. Like, you have to have your own shrine to Susan Sarandon.
Yeah. Of course, we know Susan. You know, we're just being funny, but Susan Sarandon is a proper. So and that's one thing we appreciate about her. She was actually at the Medicare for All marches, and Susan is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I try to pick on the neoliberals who, you know, try to go up against her, and we're like, don't you dare go after Susan Sarandon. She is a goddess.
Right.
So, yeah, I mess around. I kid. You know, we can't do. Look, here's the thing. We cannot do these streams ultra seriously because, number one, we're not the mainstream media. Okay, we're independent media. Secondly, why are we going to keep ourselves all serious and shit when, I mean, the things that we have to go through? I mean, look, I'm on kidney dialysis. I got to go to dialysis tomorrow. I go 3 times a week. I'm in need of a kidney transplant. And then on top of that, I am literally living in poverty because I have to be on disability. And so sometimes you have to laugh to keep yourself from crying. Okay. So I'm poor. You're literally looking at a poor disabled gay dude online right now. I don't have that much power. The only power that I have is to use my voice. And so this is what happens. And so we have to laugh. We have to have some type of humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's one of the reason. You know, Sela, just please go away. Just go, please.
Just
Because
ignore her, guys.
you're just complaining on the stream, and you're bringing down the mood. You're really bringing down the mood, and we don't need you here. If you want, block me on Twitter. I don't care. Just go ahead. Go. Where Pilgrim, my dude. Lord Sarandon, hallowed be her name. First server name, Lordess of lights, and everything that is all and good. Ogre Smoke. Oh, I love that name. Ogre Smoker. Susan can come to the cookout without having an invite. Oh, hell yeah, she can come to the cookout. I bet you Susan Sarandon knows how to play spades too. She'll be my partner. He does show up, which I try and
Jay Bogues over.
Hmm?
I was gonna point out Jay Bogues has a good point over here.
Poor
you should run for office.
Nah. See how I reacted on this stream? No. No.
No, man, it'll be perfect. You gotta play it. You gotta play it just the right way. No. You gotta play it right. You start out as a neolib. You just start out as a neolib so that they agree with everything you say and prop you up, and then when the time is right, you unveil that you're a sleeper agent this whole time, and you just start going on leftist stuff, and they won't be able to do anything about it because if they try to attack you, they'll be eviscerated by their own nonsense.
You're homophobic. You're racist. You're ableist.
Exactly.
Oh man, I know. I don't know if I can actually do that.
You run. I'll be your campaign manager.
Great. I know you would. You'd be right there too. You'd be like, hey. You guys, you're being racist. You're being ableist. I see. Yep. I know. Jake Tapper, don't you dare say that word. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm trying to go through this mother of burritos. Yeah, true. Chaz, if you can't laugh at yourself, why would anyone listen to you? The thing is that we can't take ourselves ultra seriously, but the only thing I take seriously is policy. Thing is that policy is what, policy is a thing that judges whether people live or dies. And I want policy that facilitates life. And the problem is that we have a lot of policy that either is a facade at facilitating life or promotes just death. Like, for instance, giving money to Israel, while they're persecuting Palestinians, when we could just withhold that money and say, you don't get this money until you guys start treating Palestinians correctly, and we can actually get to somewhat of a one-state solution. Other than that, you're not getting shit from us. And then that would be a policy instead that facilitates death. It will turn into one that will facilitate life. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I am. That's something that I am for, because the thing is that people are sitting out there, dying, or they are in. They're in debt because they don't have any type of. They don't have any type of livable wage, and I've seen the ugly underbelly of what capitalism does, especially when it comes to living, and I just don't want to see people go through that. And the thing is that I know what it's like to be a kid living in a shelter, a little kid, right? I remember being in line in the shelter here in Orlando because we were couch surfing as soon as we got here. And the person who took us in 3 months later, she up and left. And then we had to move into a shelter because we had no place to go. So I know what it's like. And I was a 3-year-old little kid. And I remember walking those food lines inside the shelter and getting oatmeal to eat at the shelter. And then when daytime came, they kicked us out of the shelter and we had to walk the streets. I remember doing that too. So the thing is that I don't want people to go through that. I don't want to see another little kid going through that. It's unconscionable
Yeah.
and it's horrible. And the thing is that people need to start learning that we need to take this upholding this economic value and replace it with upholding human value. Because the thing is that people, they inherently are valuable just by virtue of being a human being. And we need to do that because I'm sick and tired of seeing people being sick and tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry if I can't get through all. We got a super chat and I'm trying to find it because I want to acknowledge the person. Oh, whoop, here we go. Let's see. Slide, thank you for the super chat. Laughter is pretty much all that's left. Have a coffee with a friend and a Canuck. Wait, what's a Canuck? Who
Canadian.
thinks you're okay? Cool. Who thinks you're doing good work? Keep speaking. Is getting through. You know, um, this is something I've always wanted to do ever since I pretty much started discovering like people on YouTube doing these independent media shows. I actually wanted to be a voiceover for a long time, but you know, you want people not only to laugh with you, but you want them to know that there's somebody out there that cares and that I'm uncomfortable with you, right? Um, and I know, Mike, you say that you're in a privileged position, but you still are uncomfortable because you literally see people going through shit and it drives you nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I am privileged. Like I've never been homeless or in a shelter or anything, so I am privileged.
Mhm.
But if my wife and I both lost our jobs, we'd struggle. Like they'd be like
Mhm.
there would be issues. Let's say maybe not as much as other people,
Mhm.
but there would still be issues, and losing
Yeah.
our house would be a concern.
Yeah.
So it's not like
And
we're the 1% either.
yeah. And the thing is that one of the things um one of the things that I think about is you can be a class traitor and still be uncomfortable with what's going on, and that pushes you to still fight for people that are less fortunate than you. And that's one of the
Yeah.
things that I appreciate. Like for instance, look at Justin Jackson. He plays for the Los Angeles Chargers, right? You definitely know he's not poor, but he's fighting for Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, and all these other different leftist policies. And he's fighting, trying to fight, at least against capitalism. Like, come on. Like, you
Yeah.
got to have, he has solidarity with us. And he's also a friend to the show. But the thing is that, come on, dude. Like, he's uncomfortable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, I'm just going through the chat a little bit because we got like 20 minutes left, and I want to um, just give a little bit more attention to the people in the chat. Deep Moody Purple Blues. Gotta admit, she's been consistently using her celebrity to help the working class poor right along for decades. More that could be said, so-called progressive politicians. Yes, people like Susan Sarandon are definitely, a diamond in the rough, and I absolutely appreciate all that she does. Um, I'll be willing to bet you season for food too, for probably, you know,
Probably.
yeah.
Oh, come on, James. Hillary Clinton keeps hot sauce in her purse all the time. And now it's my turn to remind you about some stupid shit.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that one. Tim Buck, he agrees with you. He told me to run as a Trojan horse. Yeah. Actually, Barack Obama was a Trojan horse. He came in
just
and
the other way around.
Yeah, just the other way around. Let me see. Hot sauce Sarandon in the house.
The neoliberals do that shit all the time with the the running as a Trojan horse. Obama was just the most visible of it.
Yeah. Hang on. Oh man, I hate when that happens. Old commie joke between Lenin and Mao. Both of us are traitors to our class, but I can't remember which one said it. Okay. I'm doing a little skim of Googling the ultimate. It appears as the misuse of the term performative politics is not coming up for me. It falls more into more. I don't honestly know what that means.
Should not redefine performative politics.
I'm not that quick on my feet right now mentally, so you're gonna have to rewrite that for me. I apologize.
No, he's just pointing out that the term performative politics, his definition seems to have shifted a little bit from what he was familiar with.
Yeah. I missed a super chat. I missed one. I do not. Well, okay. Stephen Morrell used laughter as a weapon. Imagine politicians losing it if squads of laughter turn up into their meetings and utterly ridiculed. This is what I'm talking about. Yo, this is what I'm talking about. Like, for instance, like if people are talking, like if Nancy Pelosi was sitting in front of us right now and she talked about that we shouldn't cancel student loan debt because it wouldn't be fair to other people, I wish every single one of us were in the room. We would bust out laughing at her, and then she would get red-faced and be like, it would be the most brilliant thing because it is laughable and we should be laughing, because it's like, in a perfect world, Donald Trump would have been laughed at. Joe Biden would have been laughed at. They would have been laughed at. And the thing is that they deserve to be laughed at because they're not actually fighting for us. And the thing is, some people are going to go, well, why don't you talk about Republicans? Because we know Republicans are shit. There's no surprise. Like, duh. Come on.
Right? Like, yeah.
Please. We already know they are. Stephen Morrell, thank you so much. Your words were a gift to my soul. I definitely appreciate it. Let me see. Here it goes. Let me see. Notice many commenters on these channels are from Canada and UK. It's a little weird because we Americans don't pay any attention to their domestic politics. That's kind of interesting. It's funny. They actually know more about our domestic politics than we know about theirs. It's kind of interesting.
True, because we're raised not to care about what other countries do because we're the best. American supremacy, baby.
American America, baby.
Yeah. Other countries worship us. They want to be like us. Why should we care what other countries do?
Yep, they hate us because they ain't us.
Exactly. But that, in all seriousness, that's why we're not taught other countries like stuff past like in history. Like we learn all about Europe and how they conquered everything. But besides that, we don't learn about Sweden's healthcare system. We don't learn about Australia's like whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Is Marianne Williamson also welcome to the cookout? Yeah, she's kind of welcome. Yeah, she has some of her bad takes, and I'm just like, Marianne Williamson, Miss Williamson, yeah. But there's
Everybody's got
times where,
bad takes.
yeah, I mean, I've had my bad takes. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been ratioed a couple times too. I mean, I'll admit, I'm nobody perfect. So, but she's kind of invited to a cookout, but yeah.
I used to be a
Um,
neoliberal, so there you go with that.
mhm. Let's see, Go Vidal. It was a class traitor who rebelled against his upper class upbringing and became a critic of the U.S. empire. I don't know who that is.
Gore Vidal. He meant Gore Vidal.
Okay, I have a lot to learn. But yeah, Stuart Fishman, thank you very much for that. Throne of Blood, I absolutely love you. Deborah Messing is Susan Sarandon's evil twin.
It's fairly accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Both redhead. Yeah. Yeah. Ernest Pena says Clinton carries Taco Bell sauce. It is not good hot sauce.
Oh, she doesn't know what she carries. She has a servant to carry the purse.
She just
She
said,
doesn't know what's in there.
"Oh, this is hot sauce, right? This is the regular hot sauce. Whatever."
She doesn't know what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time she eats,
Yeah.
she has a servant pour whatever on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me see. This chat is going nuts.
It's on fire.
Yeah. You guys
We
definitely
only
are.
have 14 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fake Joe, Clown Action Network, pies, glitter, laughter. I do like pumpkin pie, and I like a lot of whipped cream on my pumpkin pie. I'm just saying. Here goes, says Trump was being laughed at on mainstream media every night. Biden isn't. That's the problem. Biden needs to be laughed at on mainstream media, but the thing is that they don't want to laugh at him because he's good for them as far as their taxes and all that other bullshit goes. And then they secretly like Trump because he was still good for their bottom line, but in a different way. But they like both.
We've all seen the comparison pictures of like Trump and Biden's like governments, and they're basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a very good point. That Trump was laughed at on the Democrat networks. Biden's not, because Biden is nice and civil. He doesn't tweet mean things.
Yeah, he doesn't. Throne of Blood, politicians should not be revered. Absolutely. The thing is that the fact that politicians are being revered and looked at and celebrated in that way. I mean, look, if they do good, then we basically give them positive reinforcement so they can keep doing good. But if they're not, then they deserve to be criticized because they work for us. And I just don't get how people just don't get that through their heads sometimes.
Yeah.
You see, it's true. It's all about America. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I actually do not like about living in this country is that we have this. We have
American
this
supremacy, man.
Yeah, this air of superiority when we're failing at some of the basic things. Like, I mean, look at our infant mortality rate. Like, my God, like, how can we have this air of superiority when we're failing so horribly at so many vital things?
Basic shit.
Basic shit. Like, come
basic
on.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean,
like providing health care to your citizens.
Yeah. Nobody laughed in Trump's face. Why not? Because they loved him. Because he repeated and kept a lot of the status quo things. Because he said that he was against the status quo, and he ran as a populist. But then, what did he put in his cabinet? I mean, he put basically neocons, in his cabinet that kept the status quo going, and all he wanted to do was be out there, glad handing all the people and doing rallies while they were actually the ones that were running the government. And so he actually really wasn't much of anything. And so guess what? He just sucked. And the thing is that, like, for
Jimmy,
instance, what's up?
I was just going to point out, Jim Engel, you're right. Trump was never a populist, but he pretended to be a populist.
Yeah, he pretended to be
Boil it down
one.
to the same thing.
Yeah, he was a fake populist. So the thing is that people, they tried to laugh in Trump's face even to make sure that he didn't get elected. But I mean, if you really want to blame Trump for getting elected, you actually have to blame Hillary Clinton for the Pied Piper strategy, because she propped up people like Trump because she thought he was an easy person to beat, which in retrospect, she was even easier to beat because she was so horrible. So
Yep.
yeah, that's why nobody laughed in Trump's face. We tried to tell him, but but they rigged the primary against Bernie in 2016. So that's what happened.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I'm Canadian. It's kind of hard not to know what's going on in the U.S. Yeah, because we're frustrating the hell out of you guys. Pretty much.
Yeah, you're kind of
Sorry
right
about
there.
that too. We're sorry. We're trying to change things. Like I told my friend on Twitter, Mohammed. He's from Iraq, and he's been a victim of U.S. imperialism. And I told him, I said, I am sorry for what the United States has been doing, because, and we're trying to change it. We are, but the propaganda is very strong, and it's just, and they're making us suffer too, even though we're its citizens. Uh,
I
Plus,
have heard that.
Mhm.
Sly. I've heard that.
Yeah, we pay attention in Canada because we're just a decade behind you. They are dismantling everything with Trudeau, aka Biden light. Yeah, yeah. How long does Trudeau have before he's out? Um, if you can give me that answer, I'm actually quite curious about that.
Hopefully, he's not replaced by someone worse.
Well, if it's anything like the United States, then it'll be going just about that way. I just don't like it, but
Well, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for competent Trump to run in whenever 24. After that,
yeah.
we're gonna get another one, and this one's probably actually going to be competent, which should terrify people. But
hmm Do not, I repeat, do not let Ron, please don't let Ron DeSantis run. Please. I live in Florida. Yeah. And yes, Toast, you definitely get invited. You bring that shit. You better bring the ball. Bring the big ball too.
we'll host it in one of the states where it's legal.
Yeah, we'll do it. Tim Buck, yes, laughter is the cure, and we try to do it as often as we possibly can. It's been kind of hard lately, but Leslie, she's welcome to the cookout, but she can't eat the food. Talk about Marianne Williamson. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah. You see, we're not supposed to know the politics because they are far superior to us, to the United States. If we noticed, then it would burst our bubble.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of people here just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, they just refuse to believe that other countries are better, no matter what you say. You got to keep in mind that this is the result of decades upon decades of very effective propaganda being churned out.
Mm-hmm. Trump 2.0 is the one thing that they're saying before Biden wins, and if Biden won, so yeah, John Oliver clone is right about Trump 2.0.
I said it all the time back during the election that if Biden wins, we're going to see a worse Trump, a more competent Trump after him.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for that to happen. If it doesn't, I'll be great. I'll be happy. But I just think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. And let me see. Education in the
That
United
yeah.
States, huh?
No, I'm agreeing with the thing you're about to read. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Education in the United States of America should include a trip outside the country so that you can see and hear how the rest of the world sees the United States of America. They laugh at us. Yeah.
They laugh, they pity us, and they're right to do both of those things because we're a ridiculous country right now.
Florida here as well, and can confirm thoughts on doing a stream of Fair and Cousins. I'm not exactly familiar with Fair and Cousins. Um, that name sounds familiar though. It does sound familiar, and I feel bad for not knowing. Gosh, I got so much to learn. It's crazy. But the thing is, the one thing I do appreciate though is I learn it from a lot of people in the chat. They are always educating me on stuff, which I dearly appreciate because I'm kind of slow of mind a lot of the time. So I'm not slow of mouth though. Yeah. Uh, Let me see. Johnny LaRose, we collapse if we found out we weren't it. We weren't it. Yeah, yeah. Um, America is not the shit. It never really has been the shit. It's just we've been taking shit from everybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
For like 5 people.
Yeah.
5 Americans are living it up. Everybody else,
Mhm.
not so much.
Yeah. The Orange Duke. If people knew about the world, they would
Yeah.
oppose U.S. foreign policy. Fact. Facts. Basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Valerie Purcell, 22 and 24 are going to hurt. You damn right. Dems will be replaced with insane QAnon conspiracy theorists of disinformation. Absolutely right. In fact, like Jackson Hinkle said, 22 is going to be a bloodbath. That's exactly what's going to happen
Oh yeah.
because they're allowing people to just lose their homes.
Yep.
Um,
They don't even have to try to effectively run against that shit. It's like, oh
mhm,
hey, I'm running for this seat. My opponent incumbent lets you be homeless. Drop the mic, walk away. Like, like
mhm.
that's really all you need to do. Although I do object to the idea that we're going to have insane QAnon conspiracy theorists. We already have those. It's called the Republican Party.
Yeah. Oh, Beth Fisher. Maybe after the country collapses, we can build one up that we want if we live through it. Here's the problem, though. We still have climate change to worry about.
That is my point every time somebody says that, because usually it's like, yeah, okay, we could wait till all the problem people go away, but we have that
Yeah.
hard deadline of climate change.
Hmm. Yeah. Looks like the Dems want to lose. We should pass a $7 to $10 trillion recon bill, or else. Yeah. I mean, look, we we need like trillions and trillions of dollars of infrastructure as well as different types of changes. I mean, which we can fund because we have a fiat currency, but we need to do all these things. Question: do you know Richard Pryor Brewster's millions? One part includes him running a none of the above campaign. I'm liking that very much. Richard Pryor Brewster's millions. Uh, I'm confused about that one. One part includes him running a none of the above campaign. I don't. Can you clarify a little bit? Um, Let me see. And yes, Valerie Rousseau, we are the next species. We're basically killing ourselves.
And the rest of the planet along with us, so that sucks.
Oh well, of course, you know. Orange Duke. And the Dems do want to lose. They need an excuse, and they want to do nothing.
The Dems are much more comfortable being the minority party because then they can just blame their non-action on the Republicans.
Well, just like what I said, I think it was about a year ago. I said Donald Trump is actually the best fundraiser for Democrats ever because they can make him the boogeyman.
Yep. They're good at it.
Yeah. Got to finish that nuclear-powered aircraft carrier first. Of course. Oh, I almost sound like Cenk Uygur right there. Sorry.
Yeah, don't do that. That's bad.
Of course. Okay.
Don't do that. TYT might sue you for trademark infringement or whatever.
Yeah.
That is Cenk's trademark saying. Don't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm I'm literally like Brewster Millions for a movie. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of movies. But yeah, I don't want to end up like him, basically a neoliberal, you know, cosplaying as a progressive, whatever. Well, that's a classic prior. Okay. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Whether domestically or internationally, I believe that status quo's recent drop of evidence on government corruption influence is going to be used as a complaint filed with the UN. I hope so. We we need intervention here. Like when you think about all the stuff that's been happening. So yeah. I'm going to let me see. Hold on, JB. Did you see Cori Bush clips at Case Study QB just posted from MSDNC? No, I haven't, but I'll look that up on.
Oh, I love that account.
Yeah, So I'll take a look. So yeah, we are basically at the end of our stream. I just want to thank you, Mike, for joining in. I wanted to get the reactions to all those things because it's been a while since we had one of these conversations, and I just wanted to get it on camera. And
no, it was great.
If you guys can, if you guys want to, go to thegilmanhouse.com. He has a few great articles. One of my favorite articles actually that you wrote was about indoctrination, how they use the media to indoctrinate us to think that the police are this, completely, good and benevolent force when, it's completely, absolutely wrong. And we're actually indoctrinated even from as little kids,
Oh yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I had fun writing that article. You guys can go to the Gilman House if you like. I don't really update too often. Like, to give you an example, the last time I posted an article was with the Derek Chauvin verdict. So I don't really post as frequently as I used to, but you still got my whole backlog you can go through.
Cool. All right, so I just want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you for all the super chats. If I didn't get to any super chats, then I do apologize, but thank you for those as well. And I'm trying to do as best as I possibly can. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Tepid. You can go to thegilmanhouse.com, and you're not really on Twitter much anymore. Are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. So I mean, but I'll try to drag him back. But thank you so much, everybody. We're going to be going out. And so I just want to thank you. So we'll take care. All right.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good evening.